It's not looking good for Donald Trump. His physical health is rapidly deteriorating before our eyes, as is his cognitive abilities. Yesterday, when Donald Trump was giving that unhinged speech at an event for veterans where he was, I guess, ignoring questions from the press about the invasion of Iran, you can see Donald Trump's neck right there had this horrible rash, and it looked like there were lesions developing. We know that Donald Trump's first, his right hand was discolored, and many people believed it was potentially from IV injections, but it was definitely discolored. And his left hand was discolored. He was trying to slop makeup all over that. And now he's got the rash on his neck. Before, you also saw he had that droopy face that almost looked like he was exhibiting post-stroke-like symptoms. We rewind a little bit, of course, and he struggles to walk straight. And all of this is happening before our eyes. Remember when Donald Trump rolled out the red carpet for Vladimir Putin in Alaska, and the cameras were rolling, and we captured him at the Midas Touch Network, zigzagging, could not walk in a straight line. Same thing when he was in Japan before Prime Minister Takahashi. He needed to be chaperoned and walk around. He, again, couldn't walk in a straight line. We know that his speech patterns are, he can't connect sentences anymore. He continues to talk about not getting into heaven and that the end is near. Words to the effect of, I don't think I'm going to get into heaven. I don't think I'm going to, I really wish I got into heaven. And you've just this utterly deranged behavior. You all saw, again, take a look. This is a real photo. This isn't AI. This isn't enhanced. This is what he looked like yesterday. A reminder of what his hands looked like. The White House doctor who covers up for him, Sean Barbarella, released this statement. This is the same guy who said that Donald Trump was getting a preventative MRI, and then they said it wasn't an MRI, it was a CT scan. No, it wasn't a CT scan, but it was just of the abdomen. That same guy, Barbarella, who said that it was a preventative CT or first it was an MRI, he's the guy who did this statement. Trump is using a very common cream on the right side of his neck, which is a preventative skin treatment prescribed by the White House doctor. The president is using this treatment for 1 week, and the redness is expected to last for a few weeks. Preventative? I mean, we see whatever that rash is. Dr. Reiner explains, preventative skin treatment, such as topical 5-fluorosil, are commonly used to prevent overt skin cancer in people with precancerous skin lesions. We don't know what specific treatment the president is receiving, but why all the secrecy for something that is potentially easy to treat and very common in older people? Lots of people are saying what this probably is some sort of precancerous skin lesion, and the topical cream was used to potentially address that. But now they're covering that up. They were covering up the MRIs. They're covering up Butler, Pennsylvania medical records. Remember, they never produced the Butler, Pennsylvania records. When Donald Trump does go to Walter Reed, rather than actually give a medical report, it's like Donald Trump's good health is evidenced by the fact that he plays very good golf. And then they act like he's like 6'3" or 6'4", like 210 pounds, which he, absolutely isn't. But, one notable thing that as the United States is at war right now, Donald Trump had Benjamin Netanyahu go on state regime media to try to make the case and explain the war to the people of the United States. He's basically delegating everything to Netanyahu right now. And then Rubio went out, and Rubio said America went to war with Iran because Netanyahu was going to go to war with Iran first, and then Iran was going to strike back at the United States if Israel struck Iran first. So that's why we went to war. But have you noticed that, Donald Trump usually is the guy who goes on state regime media. He answers the questions. Right now, he's calling reporters and saying a bunch of deranged, unhinged things to them. as he calls them one by one. And he says like different things to them, like, this is what war is about. People die in war. So I guess that's what's going to happen. Or when people say, hey, what are you going to do next? Or do we have enough munitions? We'll see what happens. We'll see. It is what it is. But he has basically, what? He had Melania show up at the United Nations yesterday and address the Security Council. Netanyahu basically serve as like the shadow president? I don't know. Netanyahu was explaining why there was a war with Iran. And there was this moment too. This is really insane right here. So at that event that Donald Trump was at, let's play the video right here so everybody can see it. Trump puts a medal on a veteran. And the way the White House couldn't even afford long ribbons. And so they put this ribbon over the veteran, and Trump struggles to put the ribbon on. I'll just play you the clip. Watch this. He struggles to put the ribbon on. The ribbon's like choking the guy. And then the audience claps for Trump like he's like a seal at SeaWorld who ate a sardine or something. Like, what are we even watching here? Here, play this clip. Yeah, so then regarding, as I told you, the statements that he's making to reporters, this is what his statement is about ground troops, about putting boots on the ground in Iran. This is what he told the New York Post. I don't have the yips with respect to boots on the ground, like every president says. There will be no boots on the ground. I don't say it. I say probably don't need them, or if they're necessary, no yips. I don't have the yips. I don't have the yips. That's your statement right there. Or when Donald Trump was speaking to the group of veterans, he started just talking about the ballroom yesterday. Do you remember that? Here, play this clip.
Thank you, everybody. We have a lot of great service members here with us, too, in this beautiful building. Isn't it beautiful? We're adding on to the building a little bit. We're improving the building. See that nice drape? When that comes down, right now you see a very, very deep hole. But in about a year and a half from now, you're going to see a very, very beautiful building. And there's your entrance to it right there. In fact, it looks so nice, I think I'll save money on the doors, because it can't get more beautiful than that. I picked those drapes in my first term. I always like gold, but I think we can save a lot of money. I just saved curtains.
Or just how